Does the environment matter to you? 9 in 10 Canadians see our national heritage as the most important symbol of our national identity. Nature Canada is urgently calling on Canadians to tell our federal government that nature matters to us. Why is a letter needed now? Nature Canada states, nature in Canada and around the world is in crisis. Global biodiversity is collapsing, and we are witnessing the greatest mass extinction since the dinosaurs. In just 50 years, wildlife populations have declined by nearly 70%. Canada has already fallen short on past biodiversity commitments, including the Aichi targets. Now, we're going to miss our goal to protect 25% of Canada's lands and oceans by 2025. We cannot allow that to happen again. Why does your voice matter? It helps show how strong our nature community is. If you want Canada to protect and restore our natural environment, it matters. I've heard for every one letter the Canadian federal government receives, they estimate about 1,000 other people feel the same way. I've already sent my letter using the link and template on Nature Canada's website. I'm a long-standing supporter of the Wilderness Committee that works to protect nature and defend wildlife in Canada. I'm very concerned about protecting our natural environment for all species on Earth. The federal government needs to implement the 2030 nature strategy by ensuring adequate funding for nature protection and restoration efforts. It is up to us to hold the government to account and push for its implementation. This fall, on October 27th to 29th at Parliament Hill in Ottawa, Nature Canada's Nature on the Hill 2025 will bring together Canadians representing over 1,200 nature groups to be a voice for nature. Implementing Canada's 2030 nature strategy is our best chance to halt and reverse nature loss. Let's make it happen. I can't make it to this event at Parliament Hill in Ottawa. It's far across the country from me here in Metro Vancouver. Even if we can't make it, the Nature Network will bring forward our letters and concerns at Nature on the Hill to ensure that voices from all corners of the country are brought to the table in discussions with our members of Parliament and federal government representatives. Nature Canada is also going to send our letters to Prime Minister Mark Carney, the Minister of Environment and Climate Change, Julie Dabrussen, I hope I pronounced that correctly, the Minister of Fisheries, Joanne Thompson, the Minister of Canadian Identity and Culture, Stephen Gibault, and the Secretary of State for Nature, Natalie Provost. In my letter, as requested by Nature Canada, I tweaked the title and their wording to customize the letter for me. I added a point and some comments specific to my concerns about current and future projects devastating the natural environment in British Columbia. Our iconic southern resident killer whales are at high risk of extinction, but the federal government and local authorities are not protecting them or their legally designated critical habitat in the Salish Sea near Delta, British Columbia. So here's my letter. Invest in nature and save the southern resident killer whales from extinction. And then it auto puts in my MP's name. And then this is the wording that was already there that I left. I was thrilled to see Canada recommit to halt and reverse nature loss and protect 30% of Canadian land and ocean by 2030. It gives me hope for the future. Canadians need you to follow through with this commitment and protect our identity as a nation. Investing in nature will support good jobs, fight climate change, and protect our precious wildlife. I am urging you to 1. Fund Canada's 2030 nature strategy to turn promises into action. I added a point 2 because this is so important for me. 2. Protect endangered species and critical habitats under the Species at Risk Act and Environmental Impact Assessment Act, including marine and terrestrial species. This includes taking the bold and urgent science-based action needed to save the endangered southern resident killer whales and their legally designated critical habitat in BC's Salish Sea near Delta, BC. Emergency action is needed to stop the Roberts Bank Terminal 2 project that will devastate their ecosystem with the new artificial island shipping terminal offshore in the Salish Sea and significantly increase southern resident killer whale extinction risk. I included there a link to the 2025 International Independent Science Panel on what is needed to help the southern resident killer whales recover. 3, this is back to their template, end subsidies that harm nature and redirect those funds toward protection and restoration. 4, invest in defending Canada. Every dollar defending nature is a dollar invested in Canadian sovereignty. 9 in 10 Canadians see our national heritage as the most important symbol of national identity, and I am one of them. And then I added, my provincial identity is supernatural British Columbia. I'll add that I don't want Port of Vancouver dredging of the Second Narrows to increase tanker capacity. I want to keep the North Coast tanker ban. We need sustainable jobs for the future, not projects that devastate nature and wildlife for generations to come. And then it goes back to their template. Please let me know how nature will be better protected as we look towards a healthier and more resilient future for all. Sincerely, Jan. Nature Canada has made it easy to send the letter. If you're at the Nature on the Hill page of Nature Canada's website, scroll down until you see the grizzly bear roaring a message, and the grizzly is roaring, "Tell your MP, saving nature matters to you." I think that's really cute, whoever did that. Anyways, above the grizzly is an add your voice button that will take you to the sample letter. And again, they encourage everyone to personalize it, change the title, add wording as needed to reflect how nature matters to you as a Canadian. In the description below, I've added links and a sample of my letter. I've also asked my friends and family to join me in this movement. I hope you can too. Every voice matters. Let's hold the federal government accountable to protect and restore our environment for a healthy and sustainable future for Canadians. Thank you for taking a stand, and quiet cheers. Feel free to check out my other Safe Sound Science content, or check out my horror tales for a change of pace at Messed Up Storytime with Granny Jan.